I started getting fucking wet, dude.
Let's do it. Rob Simmons.
Rob Squared. Initial podcast.
Here we are.
Let's cheers.
Let's do it.
How long have we been talking about this?
Oh, man. It's got to be... well, we've been talking sports for how long?
20 years.
But I still remember we were 8th grade. We first became friends. And I didn't have a school bus ride home. And every single day, you let me come home. And what would we do? We'd come home, but I'd hop on your bus.
Second home.
Yeah, it pretty much was for a little bit. Hop on the bus, go play some Madden. You whoop my ass. Or you drew up your own plays.
I did. I'm a nerd.
And then you would challenge me every time. I'm like, I'm going to whoop your ass. We go play Madden. I get my ass whooped. And then, without doubt, we end up in the backyard creating our own plays, running against our own defenses, and just figuring out how the shit works, really. It was a lot of fun. And every time we get together, I'd say it's a flawless conversation that, we think we have some good takes. And usually
we know our shit.
Usually,
how many drafts have you done so far this year? By the way,
Oh,
we're recording this on July 15th.
Yes,
This is about 7 weeks before the NFL season starts.
Yeah, so any news?
How many drafts have you done? Let's
Oh,
go
my
with that
goodness.
first.
Well, I haven't done a draft in
Too many.
maybe a week and a half, but FFPC or best ball, I am maybe 30 or 40 drafts deep. It's
Some are $5 to make him seem less of a
addict.
a gambling addict. Yes.
Yeah.
I've done 9, or I'm currently in I've done 6. I have 3 slow drafts still going, and then we're gonna taper off for a couple weeks. Training camp start, then we really get into the actual redrafts. Again, best ball is different. It's like a mock draft. I advise everyone to do it.
There's no
Low stakes. We're not talking anything big. $35, $20. Some of yours are $5.
Yeah, just hop over FFPC. Yeah. Just get an idea.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't for $5.
Mock drafts don't work, folks.
You spend that on
Do
coffee.
not do mock drafts.
Legit, spend $5 on coffee. Right?
I've seen people take kickers in the 3rd round of mock drafts. Is that mock draft legit? If you're taking a kicker in the 3rd round?
No, it's
people want to. It's called trolls. A lot of internet trolls out there.
I wouldn't even say it's trolling. What I think is it's a lot of people experimenting with how they want to draft. So
with a kicker in the 3rd round, they're like, if I get Justin Tucker here, then
right?
Right? Okay.
Well, it's a little trolly unless you are Justin Tucker. Then
no, Justin Tucker is an opera singer, and that guy has a lot of hobbies.
I do believe.
Do you remember when the Ravens didn't want to pay him? They thought $8 million for 3 years was too much for him. It's like, did they not watch the football we watch? The kicker is one of the most important positions on the field.
Well, it's funny is when you get a generational kicker like that, they seem to be think of them.
They last forever.
Yeah, they're
clutch, man.
they don't have to kick 60-yard bombs.
Don't get hurt.
They don't have to be McManus. They don't have to be able to kick 75 yards.
No.
But when they hit the 40-yard yarder when it counts.
Well, ask the Bills about that. How did that work out?
Ask the Bears.
Scott Norwood, I believe his name was.
Well, remember the Bears a couple of years ago. There
we go.
We get past the Eagles. The Eagles made the Super Bowl that year.
He hit more crossbars than field goals.
The Eagles made the Super Bowl that year and won the Super Bowl.
I think that was the year after that. But either way, we lost to Nick Foles. We lost to Nick Foles. I think Carson Wentz got hurt again that year because that's what he does.
Yeah, that's
even though he's all about Carson Wentz this year. I kind of am too.
You'll see.
Anywho's, today we are looking at this is NFL win totals, each team, prop bets, stuff like that. Also some fantasy talk, just to kind of get the landscape of where these teams are at. Because again, everything is not about situation, but situation matters.
It does.
Okay?
Yeah.
And as I'll tell you about DeAndre Swift, can't be a top 5 running back without being at least middle of the pack offense.
And I'm not.
Yeah, you are saying Detroit would be good.
Not good.
He loves Detroit.
Not good. Not good.
Loves Detroit.
Not good. Look, to be a good NFL team means you're one of the best teams in the world. So to be good is a. I think that's a heavy statement. I think they're going to be competitive. That's the term I want to use. They're going to be competitive.
Like the Raiders were last year.
A lot of games. I think
you did predict the Raiders and Panthers last year being competitive, and they were.
Yeah.
No one believed in that.
Yeah, no.
The Panthers are competitive with Mike Davis at running back.
Well, those are the things you got to find. That's how you find the value. Like you find the teams that are undervalued, the players that are undervalued. That's where you hammer it home.
I like it. Okay, so we're starting off with the NFC. All right. He doesn't really know a lot of these win totals. I did the research. We've talked about it a little bit, but I even was surprised after I've been looking at it for a month, looking at some of these teams, some of these divisions, some of the odds for the who's going to win the division. So we're starting off NFC West.
I'm going in blind to this.
Pretty blind. And of course, I had to pick NFC West first because this guy is the biggest Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals. He'll blow Kyler Murray.
We'll just give it 1 week.
He wants to. And Kyler, if you're listening, we're in St. Charles, Illinois. I don't know your address, but you'll find it.
Let's not give it up.
Okay,
yeah,
we'll go there later.
Well, Kyler and I, we already talked.
Right. All right, Arizona Cardinals win total. What's your guess? 17-game season, I will add to everybody. It's going to be weird this year. We're so used to 16. This is 17. So there is no such thing as 8-8 anymore. You cannot go 500 unless you're the Eagles and you tie. Or who was it? Was it McNabb that forgot that there was no ties?
Yeah.
He thought there was a second overtime? And he said that in an interview?
Yeah.
Not smart.
Yeah. He also mismanaged the time in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So, you're tugging at my heartstrings right off the bat.
So let's see what your number is.
I have an idea because if you don't think I've already bet this number, so I don't know if it's changed since I bet it, which was maybe a few weeks ago. I know it was right around 8. I would be surprised if it didn't jump up to 8.5 or 9, just based on
8.5.
It's 8.5.
Now, generally with these win totals,
2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
With these win totals, the number doesn't change as much. It's the odds that change. Right?
Before it
changes.
Odds,
it's never going to get to negative 160, which means you have to lay down 160 to win 100. So the Cardinals are 8.5 minus 120, which actually isn't that high in terms of laying money.
For me, that's a heavy juice.
Yes. Really? There's heavier juice though.
Well, no. Okay. So when you're looking at something like that, I'm going to touch on it briefly. When you're looking at something like the Cardinals win 8.5 games, you're expecting to be in contention for the division. At that point, you're better off betting the division, which I don't know the exact odds, but I know it's better than minus 120.
You don't think they could win 9 games, though, and miss the playoffs?
But in terms of the value of the bet.
Again, 9 games isn't 9-7 anymore. It's 9-8.
I understand, yeah.
So that's not really a good year. I'm going over on this one. Easy over. Easy over.
Okay, yeah. If that's the question, 100%.
That's the question. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
We went over this.
Yeah, okay.
I've been doing all the research. He's just drinking, even though I'm drinking more than him.
I came in blind.
Very blind, man.
Yeah. No, all right. So easy over. But because it's so easy, we'll touch on. I think there's some bets there.
Vegas is smart.
Much better value outside of winning.
Yeah, like big time. Like you're talking about like them winning the Super Bowl.
Well, my thought is, so if they're over 8.5 games, you're talking 9 games. You're talking right around 10 games. You're talking about you're in contention for the division, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not in that division, but they might all beat each other.
We'll keep going. Okay. We'll keep going. So we got the Cardinals over,
and we're still going to talk about the Cardinals for a minute here, just fantasy wise. Any question marks, concerns? What are the issues we have with the Cardinals? And for me, it's the wide receivers.
Really?
Right? No, not like in terms of are they good. Like, who's going to step up and be number 2? Because clearly they don't have a tight end. I have no idea who their fucking tight end is. Do you? It was Dan Arnold last year. He's now on the Panthers.
He's a young guy.
Is it Max Williams?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I was gonna say
Max with 2 X's.
I think
He's like
I was gonna say it's a guy with like a double name, like Ryan Bryanson or something like that, or Joe Johnson or John Johnson.
He's not a real person. They run 4 wide receiver sets more than any team in football.
Well,
right? They're not running any 12 personnel. They're not even running 11 personnel. They're running something different. It's called Texas Tech offense, right? Again, Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
It's 4 wide receivers, maybe 5. Throw out Chase Edmonds. They're not doing.
Well, Evans is going to catch. Evans is going to catch 50 balls this year, I think.
I think more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Even though, like, the weird thing is they say scrambling quarterbacks don't check down to the running backs. Kenyon Drake still had. Again, I don't have a computer in front of me like all the hot shots. I have notepad, folks, but a lot of it's up here.
Yeah.
I think Kenny and Drake had about 31 catches last year. Edmonds had about 45 to 50.
Okay, yeah.
That's 80 catches. That's a scrambler throwing 80 times to his, 80 completions to his running back.
Well, I think Edmonds is evolving from the third down back that received. Think of J.D. McKissick. He had 100 catches. But
that was also with Alex Smith. That doesn't count.
But
Alex Smith.
Do you expect that to increase just because it's another year later? No.
I think they're going to have the same amount of completions to running backs. It's just mostly going to be Chase Edmonds.
I think
they do have James Conner there, everyone, and this man loves James Conner.
Well, no, I drafted him.
You used to love him.
I drafted him last year.
Do you know how old James Conner is, by the way?
Like 24.
Yeah, he's like 25.
He's a young buck,
maybe
man.
26. He seems like he's 48 years old. And okay, all things aside,
because he's been through so
James
much.
Conner, he did go through cancer.
Beat it.
That motherfucker beat cancer.
And to be on Le'Veon Bell for the starting job. Le'Veon
was pretty lazy then, though.
Well, he allowed the Steelers to say, all right, Le'Veon, hold out. You're the best running back in the league.
I had 16 shares of him that year.
Yeah.
I play a lot of leagues, but I had 16 shares all after the 15th round.
How many Connor shares did you have?
I'm saying I had 16 shares of Connor that year.
Oh.
That's when I won my most.
Oh.
I won $5,000 that year.
Oh, yeah, okay. So not
Connor actually, he got hurt week 14. So he wasn't even around for the fantasy playoffs. But I had buys in every one of those leagues because James Conner was RB4.
Nice.
Drafted in the 16th round, 17th round.
I think Connor's going to be... what do you think? Over under 6 touchdowns?
Oh, he'll have over 6 touchdowns if he stays healthy.
But
I see Edmonds...
For a backup running back.
People want to say Edmonds is a third down back. I feel like Edmonds...
He was. Yeah.
Edmonds is going to be the between the 20s back. So he's going to be playing 60, 2/3 of the snaps between the 20s. Okay. When it gets to the red zone and when it gets to third and short, you got Connor.
Yeah, I would imagine that Connor is a better blocking back. So in those situations...
Do you know how many red zone carries? Goal line, which I guess green zone, inside the 5 carries Chase Edmonds has in his career? Yeah, I think he's played 3 years. 3. It's like 2.
Yeah,
it's very low. I mean,
you set me up to get.
He's not that small. He's like 210. I mean,
no, you want to know why?
Alvin Kamara is 215, so he's not that small.
So I find weird reasons to like guys. One of the reasons I like.
Well, I like a lot of guys, but oh shit, Han, this is a football podcast. This is not our hot guy podcast. That comes later, folks. Yeah. Tune in.
He's on Grindr. If you're
Fuck you, bitch. Oh my god.
No, so here's the funny thing. So I was listening to Kyler Murray when he was mic'd up. And it's a weird thing. Kyler Murray, believe it or not, is actually a very... he's not a talkative guy. He's not someone that's going to go out and be everyone's friend.
But he's fiery.
No, he's a winner. He just expects to win.
Could you compare him to Chris Paul? Chris Paul also isn't the most talk. He talks trash on the court, but that's basketball also.
No, I think Kyler Murray is a different level of athletic.
I'm just trying to bring up Chris Paul because he blows.
No, I know. I don't want to get into that right now.
All right, we'll get into that later. We can't get into that
first. So the point I was trying to make is, I was watching Kyler Murray mic'd up, right? And I've also watched a lot of the Cardinals come out with videos. So they're saying, all right, this is how we did our draft. Here's the behind the scenes. This is how we did our rookie camp, the behind the scenes, blah, blah, blah. And so then I was looking at that, and Kyler Murray really was never friends. Like, you never saw him dabbing up, like, maybe dabbing up, but never, like, it didn't look like a friend. Like, you and I, we could see each other, we could hug each other, like, we have inside jokes.
Right.
Kyler Murray
So almost Tom Brady-esque.
With the exception of Chase Edmonds. Even
over Hopkins?
Even when Drake was there.
Huh.
He calls him Cheese.
He's got a nickname for him?
Yeah, because...
All right, folks, we're jumping up Chase Edmonds about 8 spots in our rankings.
I'm not joking.
The motherfucker has a nickname.
From
now, that's a Roto World blurb right there.
From Kyler Murray.
Right.
Calls him Cheese.
Right.
So if you can look the play up on YouTube.
I do like it.
It was a little drop off to Chase Edmonds, maybe 10 yards out from the red zone. It was from the end zone. It was a little red zone play, and he got it, bam, and you could just hear Kyler Murray. The only time I've ever heard him scream like this at all. Yeah, hey, Cheese! And then he jumps up, him and Chase Edmonds, bam, boom.
That's got to mean something,
But
right?
everyone else is, hey, nice shot.
Right. Does that mean something to you?
It does, simply because I referenced the Arizona Cardinals thing, and the offensive linemen were talking about Kyler. This is the year he was drafted. Essentially what the offensive linemen were like, yeah, he did not really talk, like, he went into, so he was a high school player, and he was a 3-year starter, undefeated. But as a sophomore, when you start and you're playing with seniors, and you're playing with seniors as a junior, and you're playing with seniors. So you're playing with new people all the time, new offensive line all the time. Then he went to college.
1 year.
Well, 2 years. Well, technically, it was 3 years. He went to a college, I forget which, transferred to Oklahoma, had to sit behind the future first overall pick, Baker, then played. All he did was just win the Heisman the year he actually got to play. But again, a new offensive line. And then he goes to the Cardinals, which had the worst, they literally had the first overall pick 2 years in a row. Was it 2 years or?
No, but it was high. A little Josh
I think it was 7th.
Josh Rosen was 9th.
It was 7th in the first, but they were the first overall pick for a reason. And it wasn't Josh Rosen. It was because the offensive line, their defense.
Right.
And Larry Fitzgerald he's a skeleton of himself that he didn't really have much help. Since that time, they've added Kirk, AJ Green. Fitz still make him, but this guy Hopkins, I don't know if you heard of him.
I've heard of him.
Also, this guy Rondell Moore that
I love Rondell Moore.
Set the world on
Purdue.
Fire.
Amazing.
Set the world on fire, and then opted out and tried to come back during the COVID thing. I mean,
his freshman year, if Rondell Moore, I'm not really about him this year. Best ball deep. He's actually not on my list, but he destroyed OSU. That's Ohio State to the tune of about 9 catches, 160 yards, and 2 touchdowns. As a freshman, right? And this dude's, 5'9", 180?
Yeah.
Maybe 200 now, but freshman year he was about 180. He's playing against 4 pros out there, 5 pros probably.
He's a 17 or 18-year-old kid. Yeah.
So he's playing adding Rondell Moore.
He's probably playing against 5 or 6 pros.
They have a great team. If their offensive line holds up, if Max Williams can play well.
They also signed the guy from, they signed the offensive line.
And you like AJ Green? As a Flyer, it's still AJ fucking Green. And the thing is, AJ Green, and I'm not even an AJ Green guy anymore. I love the guy.
I remember.
He is 1 year older than Julio Jones. Or maybe the same age, okay?
Yeah, I'm not.
He's had injuries. But would you say he's old?
Who hasn't?
No, but he's not really a receiver that, there's certain receivers that rely on athleticism, on speed.
Oh, he's not.
AJ Green is a technician. He knows how to play wide receiver. He's 6'4", he's 220, he's got great hands, toe tapping. He's a ballerina out there.
For 3 or 4 years, I consider him having the best hands in the league. Like there's certain guys that when they catch a ball, it looks natural. Like Jarvis Landry.
Very good.
Watch Jarvis Landry in any Pro Bowl clip, and he's out there with all the Pro Bowlers doing those competitions, those catching competitions, and he makes them look like scrubs. Michael Thomas, Odell Beckham, all those guys. He's out there, and
pretty much
off
the jugs machine. That guy.
He has the best hands.
I'm always looking at the jugs, and they're always like, I can't catch a ball because it hits me in the face. I'm like, oh, it's a jugs machine. I'm looking for titties.
Well, that's why you probably never hit pro. I don't think.
Zing. I can't sing my own joke.
If only you could tell the difference between a ball machine and boobs.
You never know. I mean, hey, dude, AI is taking over. We don't know.
But we
don't know.
I'm happy because you.
I'm around an AJ Green now, dude. This conversation has got me the fact that AJ Green is not Des Bryant. Des Bryant types.
Oh no.
They flame out when they lose their stuff.
When you can't physically dominate.
It's the same reason Hopkins will be great till he's 34. Because Hopkins is not big.
Watch him catch the ball.
He's just a baller, man.
It's like him reaching up to grab a cup out of the fucking cupboard. It's like bam, and then he's catching it. Like where someone that needs to catch it is putting both hands up there, making sure they put 2 hands on the cup, and then bring it into their chest. There's certain guys that were born to catch a ball. There's certain guys that were born to throw a ball. Yes. Kyler Murray was born to throw a ball. Maybe a football, maybe a baseball. Yeah. I mean, maybe a dodgeball. I don't.
You throw wrenches and shit. I mean,
you can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
Do I drink my own urine for a reason? I like it how it tastes. Anywho's, AJ Green though is either going to be done or he's going to be relevant. It's going to be one of the two, and you're going to know by week what? By week 3.
I'll leave you this. We'll move on.
Yeah, we need to move on.
I'm going to leave you with one stat. AJ Green catchable balls last year. 51%.
That's not good.
Was second worst next to who? Jerry Jeudy.
You got me around Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry
Jeudy. But you also love Joe Burrow.
Oh.
Now here's the thing. This doesn't necessarily have to be a reflection of Joe Burrow. This could be a reflection of their porous fucking O-line. Right?
Yeah.
Because dude, give Tom Brady no protection. Tom Brady is.
I'm curious where
bad.
Are we talking about Joe Burrow in general now?
Well, yeah. Apparently we're talking about the Bengals now. No, but that's a bad reflection.
AJ Green,
that 51% you just wrote down.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that reflects poorly on.
That does. No. But I'm telling you, it's the offensive line, right?
No. So just rewind. People are victims of just step outside this current moment. And do you remember a year and a half, 2 years ago, AJ Green was asking for a trade, didn't get it. Next year, asked for a trade, didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then this year, still didn't get his trade, and now he's forced to be out there.
Yeah. He's going to be motivated.
I mean, 1,000,000%.
Right. If AJ Green is 80% of normal AJ Green, your Kyler Murray take of over Mahomes is actually probably valid because that's weapons for fucking days, dude.
That's what it's
silly. I mean,
between Hopkins, AJ Green,
Christian Kirk still
and
solid.
And then your third receiver could either be Rondell Moore, Kirk, or even
Isabella.
Isabella, dude. They watch those. They love that kid.
Andy Isabella.
They
did draft him over DK Metcalf.
I've
never been this up for years.
I've never been more involved in a team outside the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know what it is about Kyler Murray.
We're Bears fans, by the way, but we like.
We're from Chicago. I've been an Eagles fan.
Fuck the Bears, but
yeah, I've been an Eagles fan. I like the Bears, but
right. My folks are in Arizona, so I have a little bit of ties.
Sure. Okay.
Anywho's though, they did take Andy Isabella over DK Metcalf. Just wrap your head around that, as a lot of teams did.
And they were
the Patriots took N'Keal Harry over DK Metcalf. Folks.
I'll tell you right now, when if you watch the draft room footage, they were elated. They could not believe.
Well, he did run like a 4.29, or no, it was like a 4.32. It was again, I'm the 40 guy.
Isabella's a dog, and he's only. In
Do you know how big Isabella is though?
He's shorter. He's smaller than me.
He's 5'9", dude.
He's smaller than me. Yeah.
You don't draft Wes Welkers and Julian Edelman's. At all, actually. They usually play other positions, and then they come to the Patriots, and Bill Belichick's like, oh, you're white, you're scrappy, you're smart, you're a Pro Bowler.
You're willing to get hit across the middle?
Any other team,
10 times a game?
Those dudes flame out. Rex Burkhead, bro.
Wait, you don't have a 50-inch vertical, but you're willing to go across the middle?
All right, we got to digress. San Francisco. We're still on the NFC West. We've only gone through one team.
All right. Yeah, let's power through here.
Yeah, well, we're not going to power through. But
so the Niners, I know they're a favorite. So I'm just going to use my Batman detective work here. I know the Niners are favorite. I think they're favored to win the division, to be honest.
It's close. That's all I'm going to say. The whole division's close.
I will guess the Niners over-under win total is 10.
10.5. Again.
I was going to say 10.5. I just thought that was too heavy.
But it's also minus 125. Okay.
Oh, man.
I'm going under on that all day long.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions. Jimmy Garoppolo, not great. Trey Lance, goddamn project. Could be amazing. Project.
Raw talent. Okay? He's like a young... Trey Lance is like a young Josh Allen.
You know who else?
He has all the physical tools.
But you know who else had awesome tools? Blake fucking Bortles.
Jamarcus Russell.
Dude, Blake Bortles was like what was he, number 5 pick in the draft?
Yeah.
And he actually was pretty good for a little while.
Brought him to the...
Dude, they should have won that fucking game.
Championship, they're up 20.
They should have gone to the Super Bowl.
Well, this Brady, dude. Like...
No. And
it was...
Okay, again... Everything's going to be a sidebar here, folks. So, in that game, okay, I believe they were up like 13-3 in the first half.
I want to say they were up 20, dude.
No, I don't think it was 20, but it was like it was like 10 to 12 to 13 points.
It was,
right?
2 scores.
2 scores. They got the ball back with like 2 minutes and 15 seconds left and 2 timeouts. It was like on their own 20, but still, it's not like they were on their own 8.
Yeah. They
fucking ran and then kneeled. They like ran the clock out because they were up 13-3 or whatever it was. We can look this up later. It was, it wasn't.
I remember being more high scoring.
It ended up being more high. No, the Jags defense was sick that year, dude.
I remember.
So it was a low scoring game, and then they were complacent going into halftime with a 10 or 13 point lead against Tom Brady,
like the Niners or like Atlanta,
because they didn't trust Blake Bortles. Which I get it, you don't trust him, but you got to play to win the game. And you get a field goal there, that changes everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
And as I was watching, I was like, "This is dumb. They're the better team. They were the better team than the Patriots that year. That was the Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl, correct? The year the Falcons blew that huge ass lead.
2017. So it may have been a year.
No, that was the Falcons Super Bowl. That was definitely the Falcons.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have 2018 cards that say we are the champ. No.
We're not talking about sports cards here, folks.
No, it's relevant because I'm trying to place the time. Either way, I mean,
that was a dope ass team. Dude, Jalen Ramsey, come on, they had amazing secondary, amazing pass rush, prime
best defense in the league. They had a top 3 to 5 running back that was young, a rookie at the time, I think.
Yep.
Fournette was the future at that time. They had Bortles was a young ascending quarterback.
He had a great year. Well, the thing is, everyone called Blake Bortles' numbers good because it was like garbage time, but that year, how could it be garbage time when they won 12 games? So I'm not trying to say Trey Lance is Blake Bortles, but dude, we're Bears fans. Mitch fucking Trubisky. What else do we got to say? Apparently, there was enough tools in Mitch's bag for him to be drafted ahead of Deshaun Watson, who beat Alabama and just was a badass player. Okay? We didn't want to interview him because of his race, which awesome job, Bears. That's what we want to do in 2020.
Trey Lance?
No, we didn't. Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
we didn't even give him an interview.
I don't think it was because.
Why else would it be?
Because they interviewed Mitch first, and they were probably like,
ugh, that's just terrible.
Mitch is a personable guy.
That's dumb, though.
Name a guy in the locker room who doesn't like Mitch.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
This isn't a popularity contest.
But my point is, sometimes it is when you're trying to convince someone to draft. Like, if you get the guys to like you.
Well, the thing is, Watson was the pick that year. Should have been safe pick. Mahomes was more of an X factor.
Yeah, Mahomes. I don't think.
No, I went back and watched his college film, man. It was impressive. It was the same shit he's doing now.
I don't know Mahomes would be the same guy if he was with us.
No, he wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been Mitch Trubisky, though. I mean, come on. No.
Maybe. I mean.
No. Mitch is a one read.
What is Mitch Trubisky?
He's a one read quarterback.
He's
inaccurate downfield.
He's also a Pro Bowler.
All right. Now this guy's defending Mitch Trubisky.
No, so, I'm saying, what is Mitch? He's not. He really gets a bad rap. He made the
he actually did okay.
Pro Bowl.
No, he did okay. He was okay. But he obviously wasn't good enough to stick around.
All right, here.
We were about to go with Andy Dalton this year over Mitch. I guess we had plans to get a quarterback.
Going with Andy Dalton.
We're still starting Andy Dalton, folks. This Justin Fields guy, I don't know if he's very good.
All right, switch Trubisky and Mahomes. How does Trubisky do on the Chiefs?
They're making the playoffs, but they're doing what they did with Alex Smith.
You don't think he's an upgrade over Alex Smith?
No, Alex Smith was a number 1 overall pick.
I think the Chiefs could do a lot of similar things with Trubisky. They can do with Mahomes.
Yeah, but Mahomes is a magician.
Yeah, well, Mahomes is a different level. What I'm saying is in terms of running the offense, which Alex Smith was he's a one-dimensional pocket passer. Like he's not. I've seen him bust out and run, but that's not where he was at.
Yeah, this has gone off the rails again for the second time.
No, Mitch is a scrambler.
And we stopped using him as a runner.
Well, let's just do it by division. We'll do each video by division.
Oh no, we're gonna keep on going.
All right.
We're not done yet. We still have to talk about the Niners a little bit. We both have hard under on the Niners.
Yeah, 10.5.
Because also it is plus money, and I didn't write it down. It's probably like plus 110 for the under 10.5. I already bet them to miss the playoffs at plus 160.
Yeah.
Love that. In this division.
Plus
Come on now.
Yeah.
We don't even know who their quarterback is.
Yeah, the 3
and
wild
then you
cards.
said you were trying to earlier talk about, this is off this awesome screen we have. Cheers, by the way. Let's go. This is, he was talking about their weapons. You said they have 3 good receivers, and I agree, George Kittle, amazing. I count him as a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I actually love Brandon Ayuk this year. Love him, guys.
Yeah.
25th, 26th wide receiver off the board.
Sure.
But Deebo Samuel is not a wide receiver. I'm going to pull an actual fantasy podcast like slang. His A-dot was 2 yards last year. They love that shit, right?
What do you see when you watch the man?
Oh, he's a beast. But he's not a wide receiver. He can't actually run a route.
Sure, yeah.
Like, he's not like Michael Thomas running slants. He can't even run a slant.
He's a football player, man. He can run a route.
Yeah, he's a running back.
He can run.
He's a running back playing wide receiver. So their offense has 2 weapons, and they have this guy who's like a hybrid Percy Harvin that's a dog kind of guy. Percy Harvin also
Anquan Bolden.
No, Anquan Bolden was an actual receiver.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
You're right.
I don't want you're just discrediting Anquan Bolden.
No. I think in terms of physicality, in terms of the way they play.
Yeah, he plays after the catch like Anquan Bolden.
He's also
better. He might be better.
He's also probably 21 years old and is 1 year in the league. So
no, he's played 2 years. He's injury prone.
No, yeah, he's played less than a year.
You got a list, Frank.
Less than a year because of the injury. So give him.
And you said they have a bunch of good backs.
Look at the Niners'
instability. They have a bunch of good backs.
Look at the Niners' instability.
Who are their good backs? Raheem Mostert.
Just name every
Trey
backup in
Sermon.
the fucking league. And
Okay. They also have Jeff Wilson, who's out for the first 4 weeks. And they did sign Wayne Gallman, guys.
Yeah, from the Giants.
I do like Wayne Gallman. He had a hell of a year last year. All those guys are backup running backs. Unless Trey Sermon takes a job.
All right. So before we move on,
They just have a bunch of RB2s.
of the 4 running backs,
real life
who's
RB2s.
the
Starter?
top of that list for you?
If I'm going to
In terms
draft
of
one,
in terms of talent, if you want to draft a guy,
it's going to be Trey Sermon 100%.
you think it's the most upside?
Now, it's also, this is what other podcasts never say. They just give you a definitive answer. It's about what do you need. Now, if I'm playing in a 14-team league and I need a third running back to start every week, I'm taking Raheem Mostert because I need a guy that's certain to get 12 touches, and I'll figure it out later, right?
Yeah.
If I'm playing a 10 or 12-team league and I'm going for my, it's a 2 running back in a flex league and I'm going for my 4th running back, I don't need that guy for about 7 weeks barring injury. Trey Sermon, right?
Yeah.
All day long, man, because he fits. They traded up to draft him, and they know, Shanahan knows what he wants in his running backs, and this guy fits the bill. Mostert impressed the fuck out of me, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like he had some of the fastest runs last year. He had the number 1 fast. Remember the play? It was like
the first 2 or 3 weeks he broke his
80-yard touchdown.
Like 2 or 3 weeks in a row.
He's running 25 miles an hour. Like, how wasn't he undrafted?
I
mean, he was on like 6 teams though, and like again, I'm always weary of that, and I like to think I trust NFL teams more than I should. When it's 6 teams missing on you, I have an issue with it because you're gonna say all those 6 teams are dumb, so we're smarter than these other 6 teams.
It depends on the 6 teams.
Why are we sitting here then?
No, it depends on the 6 teams.
Well, you're going to say it has to be the Jaguars, the Raiders, the Redskins.
It has to be a place where he gets an opportunity because if he goes and backs up Ezekiel Elliott, he goes and backs up Derrick Henry, and he goes and backs up.
If he's good enough, he would have stayed. Is all I'm saying.
I think the biggest with Mostert, the biggest thing is his injuries. Obviously, it has to. It's when he's on the field, he produces. Same with Tevin Coleman, like that. I like him on the.
I've always loved Tevin Coleman.
But I'm saying with the Jets, I like Coleman on the Jets a lot this year.
I always hated Devontae Freeman.
For the same reason you like Mostert, is because he's going to get 10 to 12 carries.
I've always hated Devontae Freeman. Oh. And the year he flopped, I drafted him everywhere. So it was like 4th round pick. Devontae Freeman. He finally has the job. And he did a Todd Gurley from last year, minus like the 11 touchdowns.
Yeah.
All right, Los Angeles Rams.
This one's interesting.
This is very interesting.
Up
and coming, son.
So over under, it's got to be 10.5 as well. I don't think they're going to be favored over the Niners.
Nose.
Yeah, they're not going to be favored over the Niners.
On the nose, minus 125 though. You got to wait a little more out there. So I have over for this.
I know that.
I mean, they have traded every asset they have. They have no draft capital. They're going Super Bowl or bust this year, next year.
Go away.